Nick Chubb injury obviously is one that they didn't even show the replay of, which I appreciate them doing.
Yes.
Now, granted, the internet couldn't put it into
couldn't
put it into our timelines fast enough. So I saw that guy's knee bend sideways the wrong way about 1,000 times on the internet last night. I do thank ESPN for not shoving it down our face, ABC for shoving it down our face. That looked bad. It looked terrible. Anytime a Cleveland Browns player replay is shown of him on the Jumbotron and through the TV, you hear them all go, "Oh!" In Pittsburgh, which is a football town and a town that does not like the Cleveland Browns. You knew it was bad. And then whenever he gets carted off, they're chanting his name and cheering for him. Like, that's one of those injuries that is like going to scar some people after they see it and they watch it. And Nick Chubb had the same thing happen years ago. Now we're staring down a Browns team that revolved around him. He was their best player, and he's got a long man. If we're out Nick Chubb of football, that is, they're saying season, but like,
oh yeah,
I don't know. I watched that video, dude. This sucks for Nick Chubb, and obviously the Browns as a whole. Even though Pittsburgh gets a win, I think they're feeling the same way.
Yeah, it was tough to see. Now, Ford broke some big plays, but like you said, that team, that offense is built around Nick Chubb. One of the last running backs, to get a new deal too, in recent kind of NFL history. But now you got to depend on, the $230 million quarterback, Deshaun Watson back there. Coop made some plays. He played hurt. We know that. The other guys are obviously going to have to step up, but that is a huge, huge loss for the Cleveland Browns, obviously.
Pittsburgh Steelers fans, I don't want to say like the classiest bunch normally, right? Whenever the time calls for it, we're humans.
Answer the bell.
But appreciate being a tough place to play, like hostile place to play. Welcome to our city. Go home with an L. That moment there, I think, with Chubb was incredible. And then on the flip side, at the very end of the game, when all the Pittsburgh Steelers fans that were, showing class for Nick Chubb on his way out with his injury and chanting his name and saying, "Hey, pal, we want your last thoughts of this night to be that there are 70,000 plus Yinzers that want you to feel better and thinks that what happened to you is not good. Okay, we are on your side." What happened to Nick Chubb is a part of football. I guess that can happen in football. But anytime one of those injuries happens and an entire stadium goes, "Oh!" an away stadium, especially a city like Pittsburgh that is taught to hate Cleveland. So one of the Browns having happened to him, it is never good. Kind of puts things back in perspective, I think, for everybody about what football can happen. What are your thoughts on the Nick Chubb injury and how do the Browns go forward without him? What a damn shame. The NFL's losing a great one, not just a good one, a great player in devastating fashion last night, AJ.
I mean, it's brutal to see that, and of course, I'm glad they didn't replay it on the TV copy. But yes, it's online, it's everywhere. It reminded me, I was a freshman in a game when Willis McGahee, when this happened to him, and his knee just tore everything. And I remember being in the stadium, and it happened, and they never showed the replay. We didn't really know what was going on, and afterwards, guys were like, "Man, we got some texts like this. Everyone said this is brutal. It's a nasty injury." We didn't know at the time. Nick Chubb, obviously, I think everyone pretty much knew right away.
So when the tackle happened from the TV copy, didn't really know. Kind of just looked like, he did get flipped and stood up and everything like that. Then whenever they choose not to show the replay, but while they're telling you we're not going to show you the replay, you hear Pittsburgh watch the replay, and then obviously the internet's going to have that forced in your timeline immediately. I saw that guy's knee bend the wrong way 1,000 times.
Yes.
And every time I got sick, I got disgusted. I tried to block every account that was posting it because it's not something we want to see. But that type of injury, they're talking about season ending, obviously. Nick Chubb's a dog.
Yes.
He's an incredible athlete, phenomenal athlete, track star back in the day. Bigger than, remember his high school track videos we were seeing. He looked like he was 13 to 14 years older than everybody he was running against because how jacked he was. And he's just pulling away from all these people. Absolute stud. Yeah. But whenever you see something like that, to even fathom that he's going to be able to come back is just crazy in modern science.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen him come back before. He had a gross injury like that in college. But like you said, dog in the weight room, and a lot of times those guys in the weight room, it doesn't translate to the field. But he's one of those unique guys that it does. And another guy that had to go to the hospital last night, Minka Fitzpatrick, who laid the hit on him. A lot of people were kind of calling for his, it's a dirty play, it's this and that. Like you said, it's a part of what happens in football. I think he was just playing hard, going for the hit. You're trying to, impose some punishment on a running back when you're hitting them. That's a part of your job. And unfortunately, it happened.
People were mad at Minka.
Yeah, very.
I did see that on the internet. There's people talking about that, AJ. Did you see that reaction on the X last night?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I got multiple texts from different people just asking, my thoughts on it. And I just have a hard time thinking that a guy like Minka, who's a vet, made tons of plays in this league, would try to do. I don't think anyone's intentionally trying to blow someone's knee completely out like that. I can't believe it.
Agreed. And knees, and obviously whenever they changed the strike zone, right? Because guys used to hit high over the middle or hit high in any shots if they could. They were flying in there. Then they say you can no longer hit anybody in the head. There's a strike zone. You got to go here. So then all defenders were like, well, now we're going to be taking.
Yes.
Now we got to hit legs and knees pretty much. And you heard a lot of offensive weapons be like, I would rather them hit me right in the head than hit me in the knee just because of how it is. But with the way the rules have gone, hitting lower is almost being like promoted as opposed to saving the brain injuries going forward. So it's like the people that were calling for Minkah, I completely understand because the way the video looked and everything, that's a natural reaction, an emotional reaction. But there's no way Minkah Fitzpatrick is thinking to himself, oh, I'm going to try to take Nick Chubb actually out. That is just, that's not real. I don't think that's real. Now,
nobody wants that.
Yeah.
Sorry, I don't want to cut you off, but I don't think it, like, there's a weird thing with the NFL. I think people that they might not know, and you don't know until you get in there, like, guys that actually care about each other. Like, yeah, you hate them, and you're going to fight with them during the game, and you're going to go back and forth, but, like, nobody wants to see that. It's not like you're in middle school and guys are stupid and, oh, kill them all. Like, yeah, you want to win the game and do whatever it takes, but it is like a big fraternity. I think guys do kind of take care of each other.
Cheap shot artists aren't going to last long in the NFL. Okay, that's just how it is. Probably not going to be smart enough to make it in the NFL. If you're a cheap shot guy, there's probably a couple other things that are wrong in the way you think, so you're probably not going to be able to hang at an NFL level for long enough, but also you'll get kind of forced out. Minkah has never, ever had that type of trait, so immediately putting that on him I think is crazy. I assume Minkah felt very terrible as he was watching the video. Then he got another shot to the head, and then he got a sternum injury. I mean, Minkah, he ended up in a hospital last night because that's what football is possible. He had nowhere near as devastating as Nick Chubb's knee. I'm not saying that, but Minkah had some bruise last night.
Yeah. Well, he came off the sideline and looked like he was like couldn't breathe and coughing up. But yeah, he went to the hospital. I got a lot of those tweets about him being dirty last night and stuff like that. Like. But I've watched Minkah try to go high on Nick Chubb before, and it didn't go well for him. And, like, anyone who was saying that was dirty, like, Nick Chubb's coming at you. Where are you going to go? Like, you're going to try to hit
me?
Anyone.
Yeah, just in general.
Hamstring cramp.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Down to an ass like Bryce Young.
Yeah,
Sam Martin.
He's a bowling ball.
Boom. Exactly. I know Sam Martin should have done what I did.
Bingo.
You know what I mean? Instead, he was like, oh, I'm going to get in here and then... What did I sign up for? Oh, no. All right, let me get the hell out of the way. Almost like propelling himself out of the situation, which is really incredibly athletic. Nobody really talked about it. I've not heard from Sam Martin since then. I hope he's doing okay.
Well, working on tackling.
But you see Chubb coming through. He runs so hard.
Yes.
So hard, dude. And then your knee has to... Foot has to be on ground at exact time, too. Like timing it, I don't know. It's just tough to put that on a guy and say that he was trying to hurt somebody because I'm sure he feels terrible enough. Not as bad as Chubb, obviously. We're not saying that it is bad as Chubb, but we're saying let's not just start labeling people cheap shot artists and people that are taking people out because I don't think that's accurate.